Hey, thank you for coming. I prepared a few notes because when I start speaking about something that I'm very passionate about, I can get on a roll and forget a few points. So I'm here to make my official announcement that I'll be a candidate for Magisterial District Judge in West Millcreek Township. This position will be vacant with the retirement of District Judge Paul Manzi. He announced his retirement after 24 years of service, and I sincerely wish Mr. Manzi health and happiness with his retirement, and I hope he takes time to enjoy his family, his grandchildren, and travel, do whatever makes him happy. I wanted to make my announcement here at the Township Building because I feel the Mill Creek residents and the voters are the employers for this position. I hope they take a business approach, that I'm just a job applicant for this position, and they do the research and they'll hire me for this position. I also wanted to do this with just a few close friends and family. I had a very successful fundraiser. I had over 325 people in attendance, and I wanted to get my message across without the distraction of so many people there. I also wanted to do this after my petitions were filed and I'm successfully on the ballot. I'll be cross-filed. I'll be on both the Democratic and the Republican tickets. I've been in law enforcement for over 28 years. I spent 24 years with the City of Erie Police Department and retired as a lieutenant in charge of the training unit and also the SWAT team commander. I'm currently the Director of Police and Safety at Gannett University, and I have worked there for the past 4 years, serving on many committees and positions dealing with safety and welfare of our students there. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, graduated summa cum laude. I'm currently enrolled in the master's program for public administration, carrying a GPA of 4.0 there. I was fortunate enough to go through, pass a 10-week FBI National Academy. I've attended over 80 law enforcement schools and have over 7,500 hours of specialized training. I'm the only candidate in my district that attended and passed the Act 120 Academy and became a police officer. I'm also the only candidate who attended and passed the Magisterial District Judge Certification School. It's a 4-week school. The class that I was in had 30 people there. I only know of 5 people that passed the first time through. This is where you learn about all the various nuances and different aspects of becoming a district judge, which is so much more than just rendering a legal opinion. Those are my qualifications. That's only part of why I'm qualified to do this job. It's my servant's heart and my passion which qualify me to do a job that I sincerely want for all the right reasons. I serve in my private life, and I've served my community for 28 years. I've coached in MYA and all the levels of the Mill Creek School District, elementary, middle school, high schools. I serve behind the scenes in the community. I spent nights staying overnight in the overflow shelter, sharing stories with the men and women there. I've served many times at the city mission, cooking, cleaning, serving the men and women that come in there. I've served outside the United States on mission trips to the Dominican Republic, to Haiti, and to Romania. The only reason I tell you this now is so that the voters know that I serve privately and for all the right reasons. I serve behind the scenes, and I've done this for years, and it's genuine. I'm not out somewhere serving just because it's an election year. I'm also very proud that I serve my family. I've been married to my wife Lisa for 33 years. We have 2 adult children and 1 very beautiful granddaughter. We chose to raise our family in Mill Creek. Both Lisa and I are lifelong Erie County residents, and our children attended Mill Creek School Districts from kindergarten through graduation, and our granddaughter Grace now attends Mill Creek Elementary School. You see, education and young people are very important to me. My son James is a high school teacher in Virginia, and he's also a language department chair for the entire county that he teaches in. My daughter Carly, she's an assistant group supervisor at Mill Creek Daycare. This brings me to a few key points that I want to make about my candidacy. The district judge does so much more than preside over criminal legal proceedings. They deal with issues like truancy, landlord, tenant disputes. They approve search warrants and arrest warrants. They oversee many small civil matters and basically write down the small things like making decisions about dog licenses. As a police officer, I'm the only candidate that has dealt with every one of these issues from the very beginning until the outcome. A district judge makes fair, impartial, neutral, and detached decisions. This is what a good police officer does. You make decisions, although sometimes you have to make these decisions in split-second, tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving circumstances. One of the things that I want to do if I become the district judge in Millcreek Township, and it's something that I don't believe is done in any district judge office in Erie County, and it's actually not done anywhere that I know of in Pennsylvania. My office will offer evening hours, one night a week. There are many times that working people need to see a magistrate, and that's why should they be inconvenienced and having to take off work just because they're working during the time when they have to see a judge. I've already talked to Millcreek administrators, Millcreek school administrators, school board members about ideas I have to improve proceedings with students. Just because I think it's a good idea, I want their input, and I want it to be something that really helps. I also understand that every time a young person makes a mistake, it's not the parents' fault. Fines and such, they only punish parents. For those first-time young offenders, I want to continue the diversionary program with meaningful community service. I'm not talking about how they might mow their neighbor's yard and come in and turn in their hours. I want it to impact them, and I want it to help the community. It might be cleaning up school buses, setting up for, cleaning up after events. I've already talked and met with people in these areas. It might be cleaning school buses. We've all had to carry in science projects for our kids. Let's get there and help parents and everybody carry these projects in. I'm the only candidate that has been on call for 28 years. As a district judge, you are on call and cover the county on a regular rotation. I know the frustration when an on-call district judge is not available. I will be available, and I'll even be proactive. Those weeks that I'm on call, I may even get the constables and let them round up people on warrants that need to come in and pay fines. This will save the township money, and it will also improve the efficiency of this position. I know this was a long announcement, and only a little of it will be aired. Please know that I have a heart and a passion to serve in this position, and I will work very hard while I'm there. There's no doubt that I am uniquely qualified and the most qualified candidate in this position. You see, being a police officer, you do what a district judge is, a good police officer. You're neutral and detached. You set aside your personal feelings and your beliefs, and you make a fair and impartial decision. I've been on social media for many years, mainly because that's the only way to keep track of family and friends anymore. If you research all of my social media, go back as far as you want, you will see that I do not comment on hot button issues and strong political issues on one side or the other or anything like that. And that's because as a police officer and as a district judge, I can't have anybody coming into my courtroom and thinking they're not going to have the perception that they're not going to be treated fairly and from that perspective. I'm going to end this very end, something I included at the end. It might be emotional, hopefully not. At the end of the day, I'm going to go to a close friend. His son just died of an overdose the other night. And this is something that we deal with as police officers. My good friend, Tim Beveridge, who's also a candidate for district judge, mentioned this in his announcement. He was the first Millcreek officer to use Narcan and save somebody. And so we deal with the human issues. It's not a subject side. I have sat with parents inside my office for hours, sometimes up to 8 hours, trying to get their son or their daughter help. I've made the decision they've asked me, I don't care what you say, how mean you are, just go do something to get them into rehab. And that's what I did. I still have somebody that hates me to this day, but I got her into rehab. Just recently, in the last month, we had another young man who's not a student, but actually came onto our campus and was stealing, and he has a heroin problem. It's about the human aspect. It's not that I want him to have a criminal charge. I dealt with his parents, and we got him help, and we're in the process of doing that. That's what we do as a district judge at our level, and that's how we can affect people, and that's my heart and what I want to do. And so I'll serve the voters, and thank you all for coming.